Now we have discussed about single phase center tap transformer cycloconverter. In previous topics we have discussed about definition of cycloconverters, types of cycloconverters, classification of cycloconverters, working principle of cycloconverters, and working principle of single phase center tap cycloconverter. Now we have discussed about the construction principle operation of single phase center tapped cycloconverter, circuit diagram, and output waveform of cycloconverter. This is the today main objective. The construction and principle of single phase center tap transformer cycloconverter, circuit diagram, and output waveform of cycloconverter. This is the circuit diagram of single phase center tap cycloconverter. Here it consists of source and transformer, center tap transformer, and 4 thyristors. Positive group, another is a negative group. Parallelly connected thyristors, the P1 and N1, and P2 and N2. P1 and P2 is called the positive group, and N1 and N2 is called as the negative group here. P1 thyristor and P2 thyristor is called as positive group, and N1 and N2 thyristor is called as the negative group. The load is connected at the center of secondary winding, that is the tapping. Its center is a tapped, and secondary winding tapped with the load. The transformer secondary winding is tapping with the load. So the load is connected at secondary winding of transformer at tapping. So this is the circuit diagram. This is the corresponding waveform. This is the corresponding waveform for single phase center tap transformer cycloconverter. This is the step up. This is the step up cycloconverter. This is the step up cycloconverters. So here the secondary winding of transformer is provided with center is tapping. Providing with center tapping. It consists of 4 thyristors. 2 of this thyristor P1 P2 are formed positive groups, and N1 N2 is called as negative group. As shown in circuit diagram here, the load is connected between secondary winding midpoint 0 and terminal A. During positive half cycle of supply voltage, during positive half cycle of supply voltage, during positive half cycle, here we have to give the input supply is nothing but AC. In the AC, during the positive half cycle, the primary winding of transformer is energized. Then based on the principle of mutual induced EMF, so the EMF is produced on secondary winding. So during the positive half cycle, the A is positive with respect to the cathode, with respect to the negative. Then the thyristor P1 and N2 is forward bias. the P1 and N2 is forward bias. With respect to during the positive half cycle, the terminal A is positive with respect to B, positive with respect to B. So here the thyristor P1 and N1, P1 and N1. So here P1 and N2 is forward bias, and P2 and N1 is a reverse bias. So the current is flowing through the load is positive P1 and N2 and B. So this is the complete one cycle. So here the load current is flowing through the load is positive P1 load positive and negative of secondary winding tap at the center of zero. So the output voltage is increases from 0 to P1 at omega T1 the P1 thyristor is a forced commutation. Just during the negative half cycle, here the during the negative with negative half cycle means during the negative half cycle the B is negative with respect to the A, then here the N2 is forward bias. In which direction? 0 load and N2 and B and positive. Then the load current is flowing through the load. In which direction? The load negative current and N2 B and point at O. So at omega T2 it will be forced commutated. Here the omega T2 it will be forced commutated. Next omega T2 at omega T2 the P1 at omega T2 remains, the P1 is start to conducting. The omega T2 at the omega T2 time period the P1 remains start to conducting. Why? Because here positive half cycle is started. So the A is positive with respect to the B, the positive, the P1 and load current is flowing through the load positive and point O. Then current flowing through the load from omega T to omega T3, omega T2 to omega T2 to omega T3. At omega T3, P1 is forced commutated. At omega T3, the thyristor P1 is forced commutated. Next, at the omega T3, the N2 is start to conducting during the negative half cycle. During the negative half cycle is here reaches. So the B is negative with respect to the A. So here it will be energized. The negative current flowing through the load, the negative load and N2 and B. So here the negative direction, the current flowing through the load is in this direction. This is the negative load N2 and B. At omega T3, at omega T3, the at omega T4, the N2 is forced commutated. The N2 is forced commutated. Next, the next N2 is forced commutated. Next, P1 is start to conducting. Next, P1 is start conducting. At the P1 is start conducting, then at the omega T5, the T5, it will be forced commutated. Next, omega T2, next at the omega T6, N2 is start to conducting. So this is the complete one cycle. Complete one cycle. It is the 0 to pi. How many cycles is formed? During the positive half cycle is the 3 and negative half cycle is the 3. Positive half cycle is the 3, negative half cycle is the 3. So the output frequency is equal to 6 times of input frequency. 6 times of input frequency. The output frequency equal to 6 times of output frequency. That is the source frequency. At the pi time period, the negative half cycle is the reaches. So here the A terminal is negative during the negative half cycle. The A is negative with respect to the B. A is negative with respect to the B. Here the B is negative with respect to the A. So here the P2 is start to conducting. P2 is start conducting. P2 and N1 is a start conducting here. During the negative half cycle of supply, the thyristor P2 and N1 is a start conducting. P2 and N1 is a start conducting. So the current flowing through the load B, P2, load and point O. This is the during the negative direction, during the negative half cycle. This is the during the negative half cycle. So the load current is increases during the negative side. So in this in which portion negative side, pi to omega T1, pi to omega T1, P2 is start conducting. So here in this next direction, next the N1 is start conducting. The P2 is the forced commutated. N1 is the start conducting. In which portion? 0 load N1 and A. 0 load N1 and A and 0. So the N1 current is the load current is increases, in which the N1 thyristor is start conducting. So at omega T2, during the negative half cycle, so it will be forced commutated. The N1 will be forced commutated. Next, if the N1 is forced commutated, next the P2 is start to conducting. When the P2 is start conducting, at the B terminal is negative with respect to the A. So here the P2 is start conducting. That is the positive group. So the B is positive. So B is the positive and A is the negative. So here the P2 is start conducting. The current flowing through the load B, P2, load and point A, point O and B. So in this time period, the load current is increases from during the positive half cycle, during the positive group, the P2 is start conducting. Next the N1 is start conducting. Next then P2 is start conducting. N1, P2, N1, P2, N1 is start to conducting. In this direction, continuous the operation is produced. So here, listen here, during the negative half cycle of supply, the terminal A is positive. During the positive half cycle, not negative half cycle, this one positive with respect to the B, thyristor P1 and N2 are forward bias. P1 and N2 here, not N1. P1 and N1, not N1 here. N2 are forward bias from omega 0 to omega pi. Omega 0 to omega t to 0 to pi. So here, if the thyristor P1 is turn on, if the thyristor P1 is turn on at 0 degrees, so that the voltage is positive with respect to the 0 terminal, with respect to the 0 terminal. So the load voltage now follows the positive envelope of supply voltage. The load voltage follows the positive supply of envelope of voltage, envelope of supply voltage. At the instant of omega t1, at the instant of omega t1, here initial waveform, the P1 is forced completed. Initially P1 is forced completed here. P1 is forced completed and N2 is start conducting here. If the P1 is forced completed, the other forward bias resistor N2 is turn on. Then force P1 is forced completed and N2 is turn on. If the N2 is turn on, the load voltage is negative terminal O is positive and A is negative. The negative O is at the point G, O is negative, terminal is positive. So here the N2 is start conducting means the negative load N2 and B and O point and B and O point. So the negative direction, the current is flowing through the load. Negative direction, current flowing through the load. At omega T2 time period, the N2 is forced commutated. So the N2 is forced commutated. The P1 is start to conducting. The P1 is start to conducting here. The P1 is start to conducting. So the P1 is start to conducting. The P1 is start to conducting. If the P1 is start to conducting, P1 is start conducting. Next, the load current is now trace the positive envelope. The load current is trace the positive envelope. So at omega T1, T2, T3, at omega T3, the P1 is forced commutated and N2 is start to conducting. Why? Because here N2 is start conducting at why? Because on turn one, the negative terminal, the O is positive with respect to the A is negative. O is positive with respect to A is a negative. So the N2 is start conducting. So the load current flowing through the load is the load and N2 B and at point O is positive and A is a negative here. So in this in this time interval, the continuous is a repeated. The continuous time is a repeated here. Continuous time is repeated. Next, after omega t equal to P terminal B is positive with respect to the terminal A. The both thyristor P2 and N1 are forward bias. P2 and N1 are forward bias. So the P2 and N1 are forward bias. So from the omega t equal to P2 2 pi. At omega p equal to, the thyristors N2 is forced commutated and forward bias thyristor N1 is turn on. The N2 P2 N2 is forced commutated. The forward bias thyristors N1 is turn on. So after this is the continuous cycle is repeated. The continuous time period is repeated. Continuous cycle is repeated here. Only one point is there here. At the zero terminal, at the 0 point, during the positive half cycle, P1 and N2 is forward bias. During the negative half cycle, P2 and N1 is forward bias. During the negative half cycle. During the negative half cycle means the A is negative with respect to the B. A is negative with respect to the B. So here A is negative with respect to the B. So P2 and N1 is the forward bias. A is a negative, B is a positive. So here B positive means here P2 is start conducting. And load current is flowing through the load. A is negative means here the load is the negative, the load and N1 and A. In this portion the thyristor N1 is start to conducting. At omega t equal to 1 by 2 Fs plus 1 by 2 into output frequency F0. So that is the total frequency. Total frequency equal to 1 by 2 source frequency plus 1 by 2 output frequency. The P2 is force completed and forward bias thyristor N1 is turn on. The above thyristor P1 N1 are switched is on alternatively during the negative half cycle. So the output frequency is higher than the supply frequency. So the Fs equal to the output frequency is equal to 6 times of input frequency. So this is called as the step up cycloconverter. Here once again I am repeating the operation here. Let us we have to observe here during the positive half cycle means here P1 and N2 is two thyristors start to conducting. During the negative half cycle means P2 and N1 is start conducting. So during the positive half cycle of supply voltage, terminal A is positive with respect to the B, terminal A is positive with respect to the B. So the P1 and N2 is forward bias. At omega 0 to omega pi. Here omega 0 to omega pi time period. So if the thyristor P1 is turn on at omega 0, so that the voltage is positive terminal. O. So here the load voltage now follows the positive envelope of voltage. Next, at the omega T1, the P1 is forced commutated. And other forward bias thyristor N2 is turn on. Here at the omega T1 first time interval at omega T1 means this one. So at omega T1 the P1 is forced commutated and the N2 is start to conducting, that is the N2 is turn on. So the positive O is positive and A is negative. Next, so the voltage is N2 is turn on. Though the load voltage is negative. So the terminal O is positive. Here positive. And O is positive, A is negative. Hence the output voltage waveform now is stays negative envelope. Sorry, here not negative envelope. Then at the instant omega T2, the thyristor N2 is forced commutated and P1 is turn on. So it causes the load voltage is now trace the positive envelope. After omega T2 T3 after omega T2, omega T3 is equal to terminal B is a positive. The terminal B is here. The terminal B is positive and O is negative. That is the point O is negative. Point O is negative. Both thyristors P1 and N1, P1 and N1, P1 and N2, P2 and P1 and P2 and P2 and N1, P2 and N1, P2 and N1 are forward bias, P2 and N1 are forward bias. At omega P2 2 pi 2p, at P2 2p. Here initially P1 thyristor is turn on, start conducting during the positive half cycle, and after it will be forced commutated, N2 start to conducting. So it makes the negative output, P1 is makes the positive output. And next during the after omega t equal to pi interval, omega t equal to pi interval, omega t equal to pi interval, here P2 is turn on, P2 and N1 is a turn on. During the positive half cycle, the P2 is makes the positive half cycle and N1 is makes the negative output. So here this alternation is a continuous in time repeated, and then it make the then it produce the output waveform for the step-up cycloconverter. So the output frequency equal to 6 times of input frequency. Then the frequency is the output frequency is the increases. The 6 times of input frequency means how to produce 6 times of input frequency. Here the P1 is the 3 half cycle and N2 is the 3 half cycle. Total the 6 cycles. So it makes the 6 times of input cycle. 6 times of input frequency. So the output equal to 6 times of input frequency. So it is called as step-up cycloconverters. In step-down cycloconverter, the output frequency is less than input frequency or supply frequency. The output frequency is less than supply frequency. That is, the F0 is output frequency is less than the input frequency. Output frequency is less than input frequency. In step-up cycloconverter, the output frequency is greater than input frequency or supply frequency. So that is called as step-up cycloconverter. The center tap cycloconverter is used for step up the output frequency. So here, that is the main use of center tapped cycloconverter. Here some quiz questions is there. The circuit is convert DC into AC. In which circuit? The circuit convert DC into AC. The option A is rectifier, is nothing but, what is the definition of rectifier? The rectifier is nothing but which convert from AC power into DC power. That is called as rectifier. Option B is nothing but, the definition of inverter is nothing but, the inverter is a device which convert the DC power into AC power. So here the option B is correct answer. What is the option C? Option C is nothing but chopper. Chopper is nothing but it which convert the fixed DC power into variable DC power. That is the DC to DC power into DC power. That is called as the chopper. That is called as chopper. Fixed DC to variable DC. That is called as chopper. That is called as chopper. So the option D is none. So here the answer is nothing but option A. That is called as the inverter. Option A. Option B is called as option B is correct answer. That is called as inverter. That is called as inverter. Next, the application of inverter are. The application of inverter are. Option A is nothing but variable speed AC drive, and option F is UPS. Option G is aircraft power supply. Option H is all of the above. Which option are correct here? The application of inverter are all of the above. The inverters are used in variable speed AC drive and UPS and aircraft power supply and all of the above. So option H is correct answer. All of the above. Next, a cycloconverter. A cycloconverter is. What is the definition of cycloconverter? The frequency changes. The frequency changer from higher to lower frequency with one stage conversion. So this is called as cycloconverter. So option A is correct answer. Option A is correct answer. Next, dash is the heart of the inverter. The heart of inverter. What is the heart of inverter here? Option A is DC source, and option B is tank circuits, and option C is transformer. Option D is none of the above. So the heart of the inverter is nothing but, which option is the correct here? Here the heart of the inverter is nothing but that you have to discuss in later clearly. I think tank circuit is the correct answer. Next question, the fourth question. In dash commutated inverter, AC output of variable frequency is provided independently. Line commutated inverters and forced commutated inverters, and both of A and B and none of the above. In which commutated inverter the AC output variable frequency is provided? That means forced commutated. That is a forced commutated. The option F is correct answer. Option F is correct answer. In inverter circuit having the capacitance in series with the load, is called as which option are correct? Series inverter, parallel inverter, bridge inverter. Option D, none of the above. Series inverter. In series inverters, inductance and capacitance are connected in series with the load. So option A is correct answer. The series inverter. Next, inverter circuit having capacitance in parallel with the load are called as series inverter, parallel inverter, bridge inverter, none of the above. Option F, parallel inverter. The capacitance are connected in parallel with the load. That is called as the parallel inverter. The capacitance are connected in series with the load, series inverter, and the capacitance is connected in parallel with the load. That is called the parallel inverter. That is called as the parallel inverters. Next, in series inverter, employ a dash resonant circuit for commutation. Resonant circuit for commutation. That is the series LC resonance. Series LC resonance. So option A is correct answer. Parallel AC LC and both and none. So here option A is correct answer. Series LC inverter. One of the following is the disadvantages of series inverter. One of the following is disadvantages of series inverter. Option E is maximum possible output frequency is limited to the resonant frequency. In the operate with a low voltage, in the operate with a high frequency, all of the above. So option H, all of the above. Option H, all of the above here. The one of the following is the disadvantages of series inverter. That is the all of the above is correct answer. The amplitude of harmonic of in inverter can be reduced by using the amplitude of harmonic in inverter can be reduced by using in which technique? Option A is PAM, option B is PWM, option C is PCM, option D is delta modulation. So the option B is PWM techniques. Option B is correct answer. Option B is correct answer. In PWM inverter, dash the inverter the dash of pulse controlling inverter output. Amplitude, option A is amplitude, option E is amplitude, option F is frequency, option G is width, option H is phase. So in PWM inverter, the width is the width of pulse is controlling. So the option G is correct answer. Option G is correct answer. The multiple PWM is also called as uniform PWM, single PWM, sinusoidal PWM. So here the sinusoidal PWM is the correct answer. Dash A power electronics equipment that convert constant AC power into adjustable frequency AC power without any intermediate DC link. AC power into AC power. So here constant AC power into adjustable AC at adjustable frequency without any intermediate DC link. So option A is inverter, option E is inverter, option S is rectifier, option H is cycloconverter, option H is chopper. So option G is cycloconverter. In single phase center tapped cycloconverter, SCR are used. How many SCR are you have to using in center tap transformer cycloconverter? Option A is 1, option B is 2, option C is 3, option D is 4. Option D is 4 is correct answer. In a dash, the output voltage and frequency can be controlled independent of each other. So here the frequency also controlling and output voltage also controlling. So by using which technique? Option E is inverter, Option F is rectifier. Option G is cycloconverter. Option H is chopper. Option G is cycloconverter. Option G is cycloconverter. Option G is cycloconverter. Next, in cycloconverter, the input power factor is at low output voltage. The input power factor is at low output voltage in cycloconverter, at low output voltage. So here the input power factor and output voltage here poor. Option A is poor, option B is high, option C is medium, option D is none. Option A is poor, option A is poor, option A is poor. Cycloconverter are capable of transferring power in direction without any additional circuit. In cycloconverter are capable of transferring of power in direction without any additional circuit. One direction, either or none or no. Option E equal to one direction. Option F is either direction. Option G is no any one direction. Option H is none. Power is one direction, either direction. The number of thyristor is required single phase center transformer into three phase transformer pulse converter are respectively. Here the 4 three phase 4 12 plus 4 16. So here 4 8 and 12 top transformer into three phase. So here the 4 option D is correct answer. 4 to 36. This is a frequently asked question. Explain the working of center tap cycloconverter, and the second one is explain the operation of single phase step up cycloconverter and draw it input and output waveform. These are the two questions. Main important questions is there. You have to keep in your mind and read well and prepare well. So this is the frequently asked question, and competitive bits and operation of cycloconverters. Read well and prepare well. All the best. Thank you.